What's up, guys? So let's get into today's market update. So we're gonna be talking about three things. First of all, I'm gonna be talking about the overall market sentiment. Then we're gonna get into trade reversals and that what that means for you guys and what to look for. And we're gonna get into the gold trade ups. So first of all, let's talk about market sentiment. So when you go on Twitter and you look at Price Empire's tweets, the market looks super rosy, right? So we see today, this is the newest screenshot. It's at $5.3 billion and we're up 5%. And it's easy to look at these price charts and think that prices are fully recovered. The CSGO economy is doing great. But the truth is a little bit more complex than that. And if you're a trader, I feel like you know a lot more than this number is going to show you. So as a big trader myself, I'm going to tell you guys what I believe the real market sentiment is, because this price itself is irrelevant in all honesty, right? So first of all, before the 30th, everyone thought the market was going to crash, right? So when gold trade ups got introduced first, the first 2-3 days, the prices went down so much, right? And then everyone thought the prices were going to crash on the 30th. And so everyone was waiting for that. And when the 30th came around, instead of a price crash, what we saw is panic buying instead of panic selling. So let's go and look at that, right? So on the 30th and the day after, on the 31st, I had so many sales. Everyone was buying my knives and they were panic buying. Look, the prices are still lower than what I sold it for, right? And so, but after that, on all honesty, while you might look at Price Empire and I might be telling you the prices are going up every day, everything's great, in reality, the market sentiment is much slower than that, right? People aren't really buying or selling as much as they were before this gold trade up at all, right? Because people are just waiting on the sidelines, not really selling or buying, and they're waiting for the prices to stabilize more, right? And so, and in reality, I would say over the last couple days, the prices have actually gone down. So you might look at Price Empire and might think differently, but in reality, if I were to look at my inventory, which is actually a large amount of items, so it's a pretty round index, I would say the prices have gone down a tiny, like I would say a couple percent, like 2 to 6% prices of golds and knives and gloves in general have gone down, right? And now obviously reds have continuously went up, right? But that's the next point I want to get into. Actually, that's the last point. So second of all, let's get into trade reversals. Now, when you go on Twitter or go on Reddit, everyone's going to be saying, oh, everyone's getting reversed. Trade reversals are horrible. There's no point in trading. And while trade reversals are bad, the problem with that is you only hear it when it happens. You don't hear a dude tell you, oh, I didn't get trade reversed, right? So the only thing you do hear is that you got trade reversed, right? And you might be thinking every trade's going to get reversed. And the reality is not really. I would say maybe 10 to 20% of your trades are going to get reversed. And that was at the market crash, right? Right now, I would say even less. If you buy an item right now, the probability is you're not going to get reversed, especially on CSGO Float. Now, you might think it's the opposite, but in reality, a lot of these Chinese marketplaces are going to be reversing trades a lot more than people on CSGO Float are, because they're very serious people, and even though they have ID verification and once they get banned it's truly over for them, people in China do reverse a lot more than they do on the West. But regardless, this creates a new market trend that I've seen. And what is that trend, you might ask? And I saw this as a comment in my previous video, is that a lot of people, they might not buy the first cheapest listing. They might be like, okay, whoa, look at this guy. This guy's NA, he's got a private profile. He's never sold an item in his life. So they're going to be like, oh, if I buy this guy might reverse. So, I might go with this guy. This guy has, look, 100%. He doesn't have a private profile. He's already had 68. He delivers fast. So I might just pay $30 more and have a way lower risk of reversing trades, right? So what that has done for me is I might not list a listing for the lowest price. I might be the second listing or the third listing, and because I have such a high volume of trades, let's go into my stall so you guys can see. Let's see, right? So I have 1 minute, I have thousands of deliveries, I have 100%. People are gonna buy from me a lot more than they are this guy who we don't even know who this guy is, right? And so I've noticed that as well. And so I think that goes the other way too. If you're a buyer, you might want to pay a little bit more and know that you're not going to get reversed, right? And I know Slade, that dude reversed, and he was a big YouTuber, and you might be like, oh, but he reversed. Well, that guy is a pussy, right? First of all, and second of all he does is sell, right? Someone like me, I'm never gonna reverse, right? Because sure, I might lose out on an individual trade. Let's say let's say I have the worst intentions, right? I'm always looking for profit and I'm gonna actually reverse on everyone. I would never reverse in the first place because not only am I selling stuff, but I'm always buying stuff. And so it always cancels out. So there's no reason for me to ever reverse. If you guys send me a trade or if you buy something from me, even if I lose 500, even if I lose 1,000, even if I lose 2,000, I'm never going to be able to reverse because I'm always buying and I'm always selling. And there's no reason for me to ever reverse. So that gets into trade reversals. You want to make sure you're going with traders that are firstly trustable in that they've done a lot of trades, but they're also buying and selling. So when they're buying and selling, it's almost a nil chance that a huge trader that's always buying and selling is ever going to reverse on you. So that's the second thing I wanted to get into. And lastly, gold trade ups, right? And before we get into gold trade ups, I just want to say, guys, look at how many cage rolls I've bought, all right? So I bought like 50 to 60 cage rolls. And so make sure you guys subscribe, leave a comment on this video, and like this video, please, so that you guys can get informed when I post that trade up either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. We're gonna do like at least 10 gold trade ups. I'm praying, guys, we hit like an emerald like M9 or a karambit emerald. That's gonna be insane if we do that. And secondly, we're just gonna get into trade ups in the first place, right? And now the prices of fucking reds have just continuously went up, guys. And so it's gotten to the point where in reality, when I look at the trade up calculator, it's almost a 0% ROI to honestly, as in you will get back what you put in when you do a trade up, right? And it might be still a little bit of a positive. When I checked last time on these cage rolls, and I'm sure there's like some float thing. If you get the perfect floats and do a trade up, you can still hit profit, especially on gloves, right? But the reality is, it's not like how it used to be where whatever input you put in on these reds and get whatever gold, you're going to make a profit. And so if you're looking to do trade ups, and the other thing is, you're going to have to get very lucky on these gold trade ups, right? You're gonna be putting in like a $500, and unless you hit the top 5%, and that's where all the returns are, right? Is on these like top rolls, on the top end. So unless you have like, I don't know, like $50,000 of worth of trade up fillers to go for these reds, it's honestly not worth it. The ROI isn't there anymore, and so obviously, I'm going to post it for you guys. I'm going to do these trade ups to make content for you guys. But in all honesty, I honestly don't think it's worth it anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to keep you guys updated. Just make sure you guys subscribe. So when we do the the 10 to 15 gold trade ups in a couple days, you guys are there. And, you know, we're praying we get some like top rolls. Cause honestly, I have like the worst luck, okay? Cause I've already done like a bunch of gold trade ups, since the update is hit, and I swear I get the worst stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.